Hello everyone, welcome to Distilling Insights YouTube channel. Today we'll be dialoguing on a topic which is just an introductory aspect of PowerPoint for beginners, and this is just a complete overview and interface guide. So for us to just go right straight in, we're having PowerPoint 2016 here. So if you have a higher version, it's still fine. And if it is this same version, is still okay. So one thing is that if you are a student or a teacher, a professional in the corporate world, a content creator, you need PowerPoint in order for presentation, engaging presentations, and this will actually help and go a long way in presenting your details to your audience. Now, how do you go about designing a good PowerPoint presentation? The first thing that you need to understand is that when we type the PowerPoint in there, alternatively, if we had picked this in this manner, we'll be able to see the list of things that we could pick out from. And when we get to the P section, it's going to give us PowerPoint just the way publisher followed suit. So we actually want to use PowerPoint. Then the next thing is to bring us here. This column here is for the recently opened documents. This is a blank presentation slide that we can work on from the scratch, while these are templates that we can utilize. Instead of working from scratch, we can just utilize these templates. But for the sake of this lesson, I'll be using the blank presentation, and that's the reason the blank presentation was picked up. Now, you'll be seeing here that we're having this interface and in the PowerPoint platform. These top icons, they are called the ribbon. Top, the icons at this top are the quick access toolbar. There are other things that you can access there. You can include, if you want to include more things, you can include them by just clicking on this. You see that it has increased. This means new page. If I want to eliminate that, that has shortened. If you want to add any other thing here, you can easily add under the custom, under the quick access toolbar. Now for the ribbon, we have the file. Under the file, you can do all of these in terms of save your documents, open a new document, share your documents, and much more. Under the home tab, you can easily design, format, pick up new slides from the home tab and the likes. Under the insert tab, what you can do under the insert tab in the ribbon is that you can deal with picking up new slide, insert shape, insert smart art, insert chart. You can insert image under the insert column. The design is for you to pick on any of the themes. Like this interface now, if I want to change the outlook, I can decide to pick any of these. If I should pick on these, you can see that the background themes has changed compared to the plain background that we were having before. And I can also decide to pick any other one that is not the ones I've picked before. It can be this, it can be anything that I love, depending on my choice. Depending on my choice. The next thing is the transition. The transition is the one that actually work on the slide. So the way the transition works is if I should click on this transition now, by the time I click on the show tab, the presentation icon, you see that it's presenting it in the same way with the transition that has been imputed. The next thing is the animation. Animation talks about the text, the way the text fly in. The slideshow gives us the details about when we want to start from the beginning and the likes. The next thing is the review. The review session of the tab basically speaks to how we can utilize some of these documents, some of these details using checking the spelling error, and also having to understand how to add comments and collaborate. While the view session gives you the way to look at it at different interface like the normal, the outline view, or the slide sorter view, or the note page, which you can have the note page view. This is the note page. That you can also have it in a reading view. Now, one thing that I want you to realize is that you can always achieve this by clicking on these bottom icons. You can see it brings us back to the way we were seeing it previously. Now you can have it in this manner in the slide sorters view. This is in the manner in which you want to read, and this is the presentation view in which every other thing is written there. So I'm returning back to the way it was in the previously. So that is that about the ribbon. Back to the previous slide we were using in order to understand stepwisely how we're going to be utilizing those things that have been explained previously. The slide pane is actually the display of the thumbnail view of the slide, meaning this section is the slide pane where we'll be able to see things, the breakdown of everything that are being done. Like if I should add a new slide now, you're going to see this is the slide pane that is showing the breakdown, what is happening. And now the slide area is the workspace where we're actually going to be working, and the note pane, which is this place. When you click on this, you get the note pane. You can easily type things that you want to add, notes for the speaker reference that can serve as a reference and a reminder for the speaker while presenting. Now the last thing is the status bar. The status bar is this section that tells us the stage where we are working on. You can see that this is telling us slide 2 of 2. This is saying slide 1 of 2. That's what the status bar does. Now let's go straight to the point, to the work we have to do today. So in order to create a new slide, the first thing which we've actually highlighted is that you need to go to the Home tab and pick on the new slide. Now, what we want to be using this day is that I've prepared the things for us to type on our slide. So the title slide is actually, the title of what we are working on is Mastering PowerPoint, a Beginner's Guide. Now, in order to present that, I'm doing this. Now, this is being presented by Distilling Insights, right? I can decide to change the font of the Distilling Insights to something, either this, okay. You realize that each time there is a text box. This box that you are seeing here is actually called a text box. That's where the box can, that's where text can be written. If I want to type something else, I can easily copy this and paste, just for me to be able to reproduce what is in there, to just change the writing. Now, this is Mastering PowerPoint, a Beginner's Guide by Distilling Insight. So, moving forward, you can see that this thing is not really fine, and we can just add some beauty or some color to it by just picking up the design and to pick out what we can use. Let's try this. So if we are using this, you can see the way it is. It's saying mastering. So with this, by Distilling Insight. So now the beginning of the slide already showed us, based on the theme that we just used now, that mastering PowerPoint, a beginner's guide. So the next session is the introduction. So this introduction aspect, you realize that at the next point where we're having this introduction, it has given us the next slide. So if you go to the home page, when you click on new slide, it keeps showing you varieties now different from what we have before. Please, you need to understand the fact that this title slide is for the title and content is telling you that it's going to have a title and either a photographic content. Let's go there. Then for this, you see it's telling you that you can add text, you can add a worksheet, you can add a chart, you can add smart charts, you can add pictures, you can add online pictures, you can insert video. So that's what you can use that for. The next thing is that if you pick on any of this slide that is sectional head, it shows the way it is in terms of having a section, two contents, whether you are doing a comparison, even a comparative analysis. This for title only is the same with what we are using here presently, and all of this is just the way you can use each of the slide in PowerPoint. Now, then this introductory aspect, I'm going to be copying this. So pasting it down here, then you have the informations. Okay. So with this, you can just come to change the line spacing. You can see that it's more clearer. Now, I will use this opportunity to teach us that we can always add an image to the Microsoft Excel, to the Microsoft PowerPoint. So if you want to add an image, you can easily come here to add the picture. Now, I have a picture that I want to add, which is actually PowerPoint picture. Coming to my download because I've saved that initially. Now, this is the picture that I want to add. Now, this image, I can as well place it here in order for me to have it in this manner. And I can do more things to it. You will see that the format of the image is now highlighted. So I can so decide to make it look like this and just include it here. And I can also change some other things about it. However, having it in this manner is fine. I can decide to animate it. In animating it, it means I want it to come up in a slick way, in any way that I want it to come up, just like the way I just did. Look at this. That's the animation. You see, I can also just click a bounce in, and with this, we are good. So just a quick check of what we've done thus far. Now, by the time you pick on this, you see the way the slide is, and you see the next slide and the next, and now that's the end of the slide. So I want to add a new slide in order for us to move on. To add a new slide, we want to add a new slide, and if we're adding this new slide, we want to add it for the next thing to do. So I'm picking on title only, and you realize that this slide went to the second page because by the time I requested for the new slide, the click of the mouse was on this slide. That was why I added it here. So the way to just move that is just to move it down, hold on the left cursor of your mouse and grab the slide and move it to the position you want it. So another thing that I want to show us here is that it is very easy for us to just change the format of this slide. I can decide that the way I've used this, I want to use a different slide here. I want to use a different slide here. So for these, I want to change the way the slide is. So I'm going to the design. So I want to pick up a new design entirely compared to the one I've been using. So if I pick up this, which is different from what I've been using, I'll just do a right click on it and it's saying apply to all or to selected slide. I want it to be applied to the selected slide instead of being applying to all. Then this. So with this, it has changed the outlook of what was coming if you so wish to do it yours in that manner. So now the next thing that I want to pick up here is getting started with PowerPoint involves all of this. So I'm putting that down here, and with that I'm having all of those points. Okay, so I'm having all of these points, and you can easily decide that this bottom is not showing, so we want to use a different design from this, and we can as well decide to use this to select a slide. Now this is clear enough, and this will be visible to everyone that are actually seeing the slide or you're presenting to. I can decide to maintain this and move on. So now the next thing that we need to realize and understand is that just the way I've shown you how to insert image, I've also shown you how to format the image to the design you want. This image here, you can easily format it just like a little recap to something of this nature, to something of this nature, to something of this nature, to something of this nature. Though I'll prefer what it was before because it gave me what I really wanted. Another point here is that we can insert shape. We can insert shape. So if I'm picking up a new slide, I'm picking up a new slide, you realize that it's now using the format, the template here. Now I'm inserting a new slide. This new slide that I'm just inserting now, okay, I want to insert a blank slide, a blank slide. Now this blank slide, there is nowhere for me to type anything. Each time I'm pressing things, it's not showing up. So how do you create a text in there? It's just for you to come to insert, then you insert text box. This text box, in it, you can type whatsoever you want to type. Like what I want to type now is thank you, just thank you. And with that, I'll be able to I'm able to type in what I desire to type in there and get the job done. So so thank you, and that's the end of the slide. So moving forward, I can decide to insert shape here, any shape of my choice, and I'm assuming that I want to add this. Okay, I want to add this. Now this shape, I can easily change the position of the shape, send backward, and with that I'm having it in a better outlook. Thank you. That's inserting shape. And I can insert smart art in there. I can insert smart art. Smart art helps you to be able to have, if you're having hierarchy of things for you to discuss, either a list, the process, you have a lot of things that you can use under the smart art. You can insert other things. Another thing that is important is that we can change the slide background, which I've shown. The transition is now the next thing. So for transition speaks to how each of the slides come up each time you are working. I always love my thank you to be in this shape of of I always love my thank you page to be Ripple. Yeah, Ripple. It will be Ripple. So the beginning slide, you can start this slide with a cube. The next slide, pick up on the box. The third slide, I love it to be okay. Let's use the conveyor. So now after the transition, I can decide to also bring about animation of this text. This text in such a way that when, okay, let me use it for this. So in such a way that when I'm having this, I want it to follow this pattern. Then after that, I want the next thing to show will be this. Then this should fly in. So now please note, this is showing 1, meaning anytime I start this slide from this place, the first thing that will show on that second slide, once I press the next icon, the next cursor, the first thing that will show will be the image because it is 1. The next thing is the introduction, this and this. But I don't want it to be like that, so I'm going to be changing this. The animation here is going to be the number 4 because I want it to follow that pattern instead of following 1, 2, 4. So I'm going to remove this. I'm going to be removing this in order for it to maintain a new. So basically what we are saying in essence is that you need to be conscious of the order that you will use whenever you are using animation. Whenever you are using animation, you need to be conscious of the order that you use. So now you realize that when I pick on none and I change it to this, it's changed it to number 4. So look at the output of what I was talking about. The output shows this. Hmm. So that gives us the result that we want. Now, the next thing is that anytime you want a presentation, you can easily set up your slideshow. You can set up your slideshow. This is the way to set up slideshow. You can set it up based on timing, using a particular number of seconds, using a particular number of minutes, depending on what you want to do. And you can either use manually using timing, and if it is timing, you be the one to set it up that you want to set a particular time from so place to so place, and with that you'll be able to get your results done. Now for you to this to rehearse timing. Now when I click next, it's actually target that. Yes, 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 Next. So now it's asking me, do I want to save? By the time I'll start the slide, without touching anything, it continues to move based on the way it has been set. So with this, you just need to speak at the pace at which the slide moves and you get your result. So now, if you want to save such slide like this, all you just need to do is to make sure that you can save as PDF or as PowerPoint. If you save as PowerPoint, it will still be editable. If you save as PDF, it means you won't be able to edit it, and it will be easy for you to transfer without having a change on the document. However, for the sake of this, I want to save as a PowerPoint. So I save it as mastering PowerPoint, and as a result, when I click on the save, the way it's going to save this is going to be mastering PowerPoint, and that's PowerPoint there. So what I want to bring about here to our understanding is that when we are working with PowerPoint, the way the document is being saved is as PPT, which is PowerPoint. It is at PPT, while Microsoft Word saves at DOC, which is document, and Excel as XLS, which is Excel. PowerPoint save as PPT. And thank you for listening. I hope you got to learn some basics of PowerPoint, like understanding its interface, creating slides and adding content, formatting text, images and medias, using animations and transitions, saving and presenting professionally. And for future contents that are coming, please, we'll be delving deeper into things that have not been spoken about in this class. So we encourage you to subscribe for more PowerPoint tutorials and other tutorials that will be coming your way. Like and ensure to comment and let us know your choice, your view about what you've done, how we can do more, and what you expect us to do more that you're having challenges with in order for us to engage further. Thank you from all of us at Distilling Insight, and bye-bye.